Okay, just to recap, I'm Andy Backus from LongRangeHunting.com, and I'm getting all my gear together, leaving in 2 days for the LongRangeHunting.com group elk hunt in Western Wyoming, and I'm just kind of explaining what I'm bringing. And this is exactly what I'm bringing. I'm not bringing anything more, anything less. So I'm going to go through my clothing right now. It's a 5-day hunt, pretty rugged terrain, typical late October mountain weather, temps from the teens or probably more likely low 20s at night to, I'm guessing 30, 40, 50 during the day. Could be hot, could be cold, could get some wet weather. It doesn't look like an unusual amount of wet weather or anything like that, but out there you can definitely always get some wet weather, so I've got to be prepared for that. So I'm just going to go through the box here, and first thing is gaiters. These are Kenetrek gaiters. They're basically like a Gore-Tex breathable gaiter. They use a different membrane called Wintex that works just as well. Lightweight, breathable. What gaiters really, what they do for me is they keep the bottom of your pants dry, in a nutshell. Walking through wet grass, walking in muddy, mucky stuff, snow obviously. But the wet grass and stuff like that is the biggest thing. Your bottom of your pants can just get saturated pretty quick. And then just muddy, maybe icy, mucky stuff, it just keeps it off the bottom of your pants so they're not always kind of damp and nasty. They kind of keep your boots dry too, and they kind of bridge the gap between the pants and the boots. So if you step into a puddle real fast, they help, better chance of not getting your foot wet. If it's real hot out, usually these are too warm and I won't wear them, but if it's your typical fall weather, I'll wear them most days, even if it's not definitely necessarily going to be wet. I'll generally wear them. I've got one short sleeve merino wool, real lightweight t-shirt, and I've got another one that's in the laundry right now, but I'll bring those two, and those will be the two undershirts that I wear for the 5-day hunt. Because they're merino wool, they just don't get stinky. That's the whole deal with merino wool. The rest of it, no big deal, but it just does not get stinky. So I'll have 2 of those. I've got 3 different thicknesses of long underwear, and they're all just synthetic long underwear, different brands, all good stuff. So just a real thin layer, a medium layer. This is kind of almost a polar fleece, but not quite, but kind of medium. And then this is a heavy polar tech set. This is almost like sweatpants, so I can wear these around camp also. And depending on how it is, I might wear none, I might wear one or the other, I might wear 2 of them together. If it was really, really cold, I could wear 2 of them together. Heck, in a pinch, I could wear all 3 of them together. So good flexibility, which is 3 pair. Then for my everyday hunting shirts, I'm going to bring 2. I could definitely get by with just one since I use the undershirts underneath. This is a Traverse Zip Tee, which I'd say is my favorite. It's kind of a smoother exterior, real quiet, real soft, kind of a medium weight. So a Traverse Zip Tee, Sitka by the way. And then this is a midweight Zip Tee, which is just a little bit less warm than this one. Either of those I'm fine with though. This is a 90% jacket, which is a soft shell, real thin fleece line, so real thin jacket. It's not wind stopper, but it's kind of such tight material that it does pretty good with the wind. This is discontinued, but the mountain jacket or the timberline jacket would be kind of similar. Because it's kind of thin, it just packs down real small. It makes a pretty big difference temperature-wise. It fits under other things really nicely. So I like a layer like that of some sort. And that would go right over my shirt. And by the way, again, if you get stuck and it's really, really cold, I could double up my shirts too. So I've got some flexibility there. I brought 2 pair of pants, and I would definitely be fine with one. But if you do get a really wet, muddy hunt, it's sometimes nice to switch them out partway through. But I've got a pair of mountain pants and a pair of timberline pants. So they're both a medium weight, good all-around pants. The only real difference is that the timberline has Gore-Tex on the rear end and the knees. So a little bit warmer, obviously keeps your butt dry, which is nice. I'll probably wear these on a late October elk hunt. Will probably be my go-to pants, but we'll see. If it's a little bit warmer, I might go with these mountain pants. Rain gear. I definitely would never go on a hunt without rain gear, so that ends up being my outer layer. This is the Sitka Dew Point, so this is their kind of ultralight packable rain gear. It's got more basic features because of that, but I'm okay with that. I like how light it is. It's been real durable for me. I've had this for 4 or 5 years now. So a shell, and then the pants. The pants have full leg zips, which I like. These are the Dew Point pants also. It's a very lightweight and packable. Those will come with me every day. You know, obviously they're for rain, but also they just are your top layer to add one more layer of warmth, to cut the wind especially. You know, obviously any waterproof material has some noise to it, but I feel like these Dew Point, because they're thin, but sometimes you think of thin as kind of crinkly, and it's not. It's pretty reasonable as far as noise goes. Then I get into my puffy layers. So these are my main insulating layers. I've got Puffy Pants, these are Kelvin pants, which are discontinued. Now they have Kelvin Light pants, which are the same thing, just a little bit thinner material. If I was starting over, I'd probably go with Kelvin Light, because these are a little warmer than they really have to be. So these will go over my everyday pants when I need them to. Sometimes if I'm just sitting there glassing, I'll just have these pulled over my pants, and that's it. It looks a little goofy, but it's nice and warm. And then if I need to, I'll pull my rain pants over them. And now I've got basically the equivalent of like heavy duty bibs, waterproof and insulated. So this gives me a lot of good flexibility. Some days, if it's not going to be cold enough, I won't even bring these with me. Although I'll bring them most days, partly just because I like to have some stuff in my pack, so I can use my pack to lean on and shoot off of and stuff like that. But so those are Kelvin pants. And then I've got 2 different thicknesses of Sitka puffy down coats. This is their Kelvin Ultralight down jacket, which was discontinued, but it's, you know, basically like your typical midweight puffy jacket. It's very lightweight and packable, and just kind of this is the jacket that I expect to wear on this hunt, or to bring along on this hunt. Then I also have the Kelvin Down Hoodie, which is an 800 fill, you know, really warm, really thick puffy, but because it's down, it packs down extremely small. I doubt that I'll need this on this hunt, but if I do, I'll be happy to have it. Again, if it got super cold, you could wear both of them. You wear both of these, 2 shirts, your puffy pants, your rain pants, you know, a couple of your thicker pair of long underwear. You are good to below 0, very cold temperatures. So that's really my main clothes for the week, and I feel really, really good about being set no matter what kind of weather we're getting out there, and it's a pretty lightweight, packable setup. Last thing I got in here is just a bag full of gloves and hats. For if it gets really, really cold, these are just relatively inexpensive, sort of like ski gloves. These happen to be Carhartt, but just your typical kind of puffy gloves. And for really cold, I would wear these Traverse gloves, which is just kind of an extra thick liner glove, a little bit sticky on the fingers. I love the Traverse gloves. I can wear these inside, and I found this to be just as warm as it can get, and my fingers get cold easily. And another nice thing is then, you know, when you need to, you pull that off, and you're good to shoot or to dial turrets or do whatever you need to do. So that's for really cold weather. That's worked out really well for me. I doubt I'll need these this week, but I'll be set if I do need them. My actual favorite glove combo that I'll use out there is the Traverse gloves with the Jetstream glove. So the Jetstream glove is kind of a heavy duty, well, it's more than a liner glove. It's got leather on the palm, but fairly thin, but it's got wind stopper, and these double up really nicely. I ordered the same size or wear the same size in both, and they fit together really nicely. So for me on a typical hunt, this gives me good flexibility. Again, I can wear just this one I can wear just this one, or I can wear them together. These aren't waterproof, but they do pretty well with some moisture, so that's been a really good combo for me. I've got a backup pair of gloves. These are a Gore-Tex from the Elevated 2 line. I'm drawing a blank on what it is, but it's the Gore-Tex warm gloves. What I like about some of Sitka's warm gloves is the cuff. It's a really low profile cuff, so your sleeves go over it really nicely, and that's just an example of how nicely your whole Sitka system fits together and just works so well and feels so good together. I've got a Traverse Balaclava. That can make a really big difference. This is kind of a midweight, just to get the cold off your neck. A lot of these Sitka shirts, by the way, are also available in a hoodie form that would basically have this kind of built in. I prefer the zip tees and then to separately use a balaclava, but to each his own. Then I've just got an old orange cap I've had forever. That'll be the one that I'll probably wear. You know, your typical mid to late season hat. And then I've got the Ballistic Beanie, which is the same as like the incinerator hat, which is just so warm and plush. So if it's really, really cold, it's really nice to pull that on, and it's very lightweight and packable. And that is it. That's my clothing system. It's mainly Sitka, and I really feel like over the years I've gotten it dialed in to where this works really well for me on most hunts. You know, I'll tweak it a little bit here or there, but these are the basics that I use. So hope you found this helpful. I think next I'm going to show you how I kind of pack everything into my pack for the hunt. So I'll just take a break and I'll be back with that.